very warm welcome to Dusty Shop. Here today at the Talyllyn Railway, here to see a very special layout. And oh, it's just wonderful to see. So I'm looking through glass here, there's these windows. Let me just come back and give you a perspective of how this is displayed. So there's some windows here, and this is actually well, the Reverend Awdry study. So you can see over the back here, well, you can see the desk there and the typewriter and all the Reverend's books. Map on the wall of Sodor. It's a wonderful recreation, it really is. And then right at the front here, yeah, the layout. And there are some pictures on the walls around here of the Reverend at some of the model train fairs exhibiting the layout. And yeah, I mean, if you're of a similar age to me or younger and you're a train enthusiast, then Thomas has to have been part of your life at some stage. And yeah, not sure I necessarily agree with where the brand has gone in recent years. I've said this before on the video, you know, it's become very commercialised, and yeah, I just yeah, it's a shame that the railways now can't run their sort of Thomas days without paying a lot of royalties. Look here, Stepney just there. Yeah, I feel very, very humbled standing here. I get this now and again. The last time was looking at the Beavertail coach down in Margate, but yeah, this is another thing that I really, really wanted to see. Now normally I'd go along a layout and I'd point out all the little details, but I don't think I need to with this. I mean, it is wonderful to see. And just here, look at the little carousel here with all of the Thomas books on there. Now I mentioned seeing the layout running in London, or not seeing it as the case was, and it was running to the books. Well, it's actually running to the timetable, and you can see an example of the Reverend Awdry's timetable here. It says here, the Reverend Awdry enjoyed displaying his model railway layouts at the exhibitions. He ran the layouts to a strict timetable set out on cards. These are for the Ffarquhar branch line, and he later introduced a taped commentary. Some of the more modern models here from Bachmann, Scarloy and Renus. Not overly familiar with those two, but at the end here, Scarloy remembers. A record here narrated by Johnny Morris. And down here, one of the models from the Thomas TV series. It says on loan from Mattel. And then some of the Reverend's own models here. And then here, one of the Thomas books. This is how I remembered them. This was originally published September 1949, and a couple of the Hornby wagons here. And a couple of books that I hadn't heard of before, Belinda the Beetle and Belinda Beats the Band. And again, another book there, but this time translated into Welsh. Reverend Awdry, Our Child Begins to Pray. And then finally a railway map of Sodor there. Some publicity for the railway series. And some more of the books here, these two, one translated into Norwegian and the other one written in Welsh, as you can see. And then finally at the top here is 1851 locomotive, the Reverend Awdry's model of the LNWR 222 McConnell Bloomer locomotive of 1851. There we go.
Oh dear, I'll never be allowed out anymore. I shall have to stay in this shed for always, and no one will ever see my red coat again. Oh dear. Oh dear. Thomas and the trucks. Thomas used to grumble in the shed at night. I'm tired of pushing coaches. I want to see the world.
Is there a better way to spend a morning looking at the Ffarquhar branch line with the original Thomas and listening to Johnny Morris? Absolutely wonderful. So if you're not aware, the Reverend Awdry was actually a volunteer at the railway here in Talyllyn and joined the Preservation Society in 1951. His experience as a volunteer on the line inspired a number of books about the Talyllyn Railway. And you see down here the Talyllyn Railway, the owner of the locomotive Edward Thomas, which the Reverend Awdry wrote his stories. I'll just have a few bits and pieces around the rest of the museum while I'm here. Look at this lovely traditional Welsh dress here. And pictured above, the picture above is taken around 1897 at Wharf, shows the young Edward Thomas. Edward Thomas served the company for over 70 years, including the post of managing director from around 1910 to 1950. You see there on the church there, in memory of Edward Thomas. There's a golden spike there from when the line was extended. And Race the Train. I believe that event took place a couple of weekends ago, or a few days ago. I missed that. Beautiful model there of Talyllyn. And lovely firing shovel over the back there, presented to the Talyllyn Railway Preservation Society by the Severn Valley Railway to mark the return to service of the locomotive Talyllyn, with a new boiler built by the Severn Valley Railway in 2011. Look at this carriage sign from the Ffarquhar destination sign. BL Ffarquhar, so Blaenau Ffarquhar. And some memorabilia there from the Snowdon Mountain Railway. The lever frame and some of the right-of-way machines. This is the tokens up here. That's an interesting locomotive, isn't it? Victoria.
The guy
There's a train just reversing into the station here. Absolutely beautiful. Got the main line running past here. It was me, I was at the Ffarquhar this morning and I didn't get on the train there because I was worried about the weather. I'm very, very tempted to jump on the train here, but if I do that then I'm going to miss out on the other railway that I plan to do today. So I need to decide which whether I'm going to go on the train here. I should probably come back and do this railway properly, because I'm kind of just driving past at the moment. Anyway, back into the museum. There's a slate truck there. Some information there about the Barnstaple and Linton Railway. And all the, let me just zoom in, the loco names on the wall there. And I love that light, look at that. There's a whistle and the nameplate from Peggy. This is the other railway that I'm planning to go to today, the Vale of Rydal. I hope my pronunciation's correct on these, I'm doing my best. That's an interesting loco. Dot 1887. Bay of Peacock. 1887, 4 of these tiny 040 well tank locomotives were built by Bay of Peacock at their works at Gorton in Manchester. 3 of them went to the new Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway works at Horwich in 1968 there, and then 2011 and 12. It does say it's dedicated to the memory of the Reverend Chris White, 39 to 2015. This is a fantastic museum. We'll make sure that I make a donation to the railway if I don't travel today. Looking down on the vertical boiler here. Lovely little narrow gauge logo here, rough pup, and it was one of 18 similar Alice class 040 saddle tanks built by Hunslet. See the logo here. I love these little locos. And standard gauge track here with a standard gauge truck and 2, 3 or 4 narrow gauge trucks on top. So we've got, let me just read what they are. So it makes more sense now. This is what they call a host wagon, which worked on the 4-foot gauge line of the Donoric Quarry, which ran alongside Llanberis Lake. So when it was 4 foot, we're actually hoping to see Ffarquhar this afternoon, which was one of the locos that worked that line. And yeah, basically this would be able to take the little slate trucks on top. And there's part of the cast iron rails from the original Donoric Quarry. Typical point movable blade, probably made in the quarry foundry. So yeah, if you're interested in that, I did a video just before it closed of the workshops and the foundry. Got all these different rail chairs in here. And the skate here. And yeah, this wonderful logo with the vertical boiler here, George Henry. Vertical steam boiler locomotives of this type could be found throughout the quarry industry of North Wales. They were supplied by the Carnarvon works of De Winton and Co, whose premises were by the quay. So basically I think there's a couple of these running, the De Winton ones. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but there's also one apparently on the hillside somewhere that has had a lot of parts sort of stolen from it, but still exists. Another one of these can be found in the Carnarvon station for the Talyllyn Railway. That was the one that was moved from the Penryn Castle, and again the name escapes me at the moment, but if I remember it when I'm editing, I'll drop it in the caption. Another slab wagon for slate. There's sides of the bits of timber on there. Locomotive number 13. This is a really interesting piece of kit. Locomotive number 13, 1895. What an interesting loco. This 040 tank locomotive was built by William Spence and Company of Dublin in 1895. One of 18 built to the design of Samuel Geoghegan, chief engineer of Guinness. It worked in the unique confines of the Guinness brewery at St James Gate in Dublin, which was built on both sides of a busy main street. That's a mainline train gone past. I'd like to have seen that, never mind. But look at this. So, essentially, you're standing at the back here, I'm guessing. Oh no, maybe this is the front. Let's come round to the other end. Ah yes, this is the back. Here's your controls here. And your pistons are mounted up at the top here. That's a wonderful contraption. I've never seen one of those before. Absolutely fascinating. Another quarry wagon there. There's something I didn't know. The Woolwich Arsenal had no less than 54 miles of 1-foot 6-inch gauge railways, and 82 locomotives were employed. You would have thought they'd be using fireless locos there, wouldn't you? Another fascinating loco here, number 774, built in 1919. It's Bagley. They built 6 of these 20 horsepower locomotives ordered by the Timber Supply Department, which operated a number of timber tramways in forests across the United Kingdom. And a little diagram here showing the patent compound transmission. Arthur Haywood, the medium gauge pioneer. And some of the nameplates from the locos there. And finally, William Finlay. Let me get the light behind me. What a wonderful museum. Thoroughly enjoyed walking around there. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. It's great that the kids can go up onto the footplate on this one. Well, as I say, one of the best railway museums I think I've been in for quite some time. Absolutely fantastic, and yeah, wonderful exhibits in here. And yeah, to crown it all, the Reverend Awdry study. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed being here. Well, definitely a railway I'll be returning to when I have more time. Love to have taken a trip on there today, and I will definitely do that in the future. Railway Museum was absolutely fantastic, and yeah, really enjoyed seeing the Ffarquhar branch line and the Reverend Awdry study, as well as the rest of the museum. Fantastic museum, and yeah, if you're in the area, definitely check out the railway here. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up, and why not check out the channel, lots on there, and if you can subscribe, you'd be doing me a really big favour. And with that, I'll leave it there and just say thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.